What's going on, Moto people? Moto Photo Guy here. Just out for a short ride today. Today I'm on my buddy, we'll call him Mr. J. We're out on his 2007 V-Strom DL650. He recently purchased a new house and has had a lot going on with moving everything, so I volunteered to move his bike for him. Plus I wanted to ride it to see how I like the bar risers and a few of the things that he has on his bike, and ignore my GPS. This is the first time I've been to his new house. Anyways, like I said, just out for a short ride. Probably be a 10-minute video if that. It's only about a 20-minute ride to his house. Just wanted to see how I like the bar risers, a few other things on the bike. So join along and enjoy the ride. I'll try to talk a little bit more in this video than I did the last video. MT Moto Rider, he's a bit more good at the talking portion of the video than I am. I'm still new to getting accustomed to talking to you guys, but really talking to myself. So I'm gonna try to talk a little bit more in this video. I have noticed one thing. I've been on the bike for about 5 minutes now. The first thing that I really like on his bike that I don't have is, if you can see ahead of me here, he's got this, Lord, you're just going to keep talking every time I try to talk, aren't you, GPS? He has this windscreen riser here that's adjustable. It's moved it forward about maybe 1.5 inches and up maybe 1.5 inches, and I'm 6'2", and this is, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from wind noise or not through the video, but the buffeting in my helmet is essentially gone. So that's one thing that I am most certainly going to look into, that so far I've really enjoyed on this bike. Now I'm not sure if these are the rocks or what brand bar riders they are, but it seems to have moved the bars up and back a little bit too, and I feel like I'm not leaning forward quite as much on this bike as I do on my bike to reach my bars. Certainly going to have to test them out here in a minute to see how they are as far as standing up and riding. I know that's one of the reasons that I'm looking at a set for my bike, is for when I do take the bike on some trails or gravel or anything that's not pavement, that you might want to stand up to try to have a little bit more control of the bike. So far they feel nice just sitting here, just normal riding. It's a lot more comfortable, seems to be a little bit more easy on the back. Not that this bike is hard on the back to begin with. I will say that although I think these are factory bar ends and the factory hand guards, bark busters, whatever you want to call them, not that my hands get cold with these gloves on anyways, but they do seem to cut a fair amount of wind off the hands. That's also something that I'm gonna probably go with bark busters, just because they have the metal frame on the outside, just for a little extra protection in case you spill on the trail or something like that, because it's almost inevitable if you're gonna ride the bike to any kind of decent extent off-road. So like I said, his bike is it's a 2007, I believe. I went with him when he purchased the bike and looked it over. It's a solid deal. It's got some good parts on it. One of the things that I'm most jealous of are his engine crash bars. He has the crash bars with the, looks like nightlight auxiliary lights mounted to them, and they pitch a fair amount more of light at nighttime than the factory headlights. Not that these headlights are that dull, it's just every extra bit helps. One thing I will note with the bar risers is I would have to have mirror extensions if I put them on my bike. It just, for whatever reason, that little bit really put the mirrors closer to me. So anyways, my buddy that bought this bike, he was one of the guys that I did a lot of street riding with, and he had a CBR 650R possibly. I know it was a Honda 650. Great bike, comfortable bike, but a lot like myself, starting to realize, you know, he's a family man, need to kind of slow it down on the street a little bit and just enjoy the more casual side of riding. So not only him, but MT Moto Rider and myself, we all three just happened to jump on V-Stroms in the last month or so, and found this one for quite a great deal, really close to home. It's like I said, it's got the bar risers, it's already got the factory knuckle, hand guards, as you want, whatever you want to call them. It's got the screen riser on it. It's got, I'm not sure what brand of engine bars, crash bars those are, but it's got the crash bars on it. It's got the night lights, auxiliary lights, has the Givi hard cases just like my bike does, has a Givi trunk same as my bike, has a center stand, it's got a skid plate. This bike's, for the price that he paid for it, this bike is very well equipped. It has 50,000 miles on it, but as anyone knows that knows much about the V-Stroms or the engines that are in these bikes, you know, you keep the oil change, keep the valve clearance checked on them. These bikes will run forever. So even with the, you know, a few more miles on it than my bike has on it, it's a very, very solid bike. I'm actually quite jealous of it. I'm more jealous of the blue on the bike than anything. The blue really pops. I like my bike. Most of my bikes have been all black except for my Suzuki GSXS and my MT10. They were white and blue, but most all of my other bikes have been just all black. So when I saw my V-Strom, the one that I bought, I was naturally attracted to it because it's an all black bike. But the blue on this bike in the sunlight when it's clean, man, it really pops. I have a photo of it the day that he purchased the bike, and I'm still kind of new to editing the videos, so if I can figure out how to put the photo in the video, I'll post it in there so you guys can see it. It's really quite a pretty photo to just be a basic cell phone photo. Stand up, see what these bars are like. Oh man, that makes all the difference in the world right there. I'm not stretching, I'm not having to bend over. That is, you know, loose grip on the bars. That's yeah, for the price of what those are, I think I'm gonna have to invest in a set for my bike. One of the things I forgot to mention that his bike has, it has the fork brace that mounts just around the fender. They say that it helps with higher speeds so you don't get wobbles in the bars and stuff like that. I'm just cruising. It's 32 degrees outside today, so I'm not doing any high speeds, just kind of taking some back roads here and there. But I would be curious to see, not that these bikes are meant for high speeds, but you know, I'd be curious to see if it felt different around 85, 90 miles an hour compared to, say, my bike, which does not have one. I will say though, like I said in the last video, this HWK jacket I picked up off of Amazon for around 60 bucks. I have the thermal liner on inside of it, and like I said, it's right around 32, 33 degrees today, and 60, 55, 60 mile an hour. You know, this ride over to my buddy's house, I have yet to get any kind of chill. Really, really pleased with this jacket. Fits well. I'm a bigger guy, 6'2", weigh about 320 pounds. So I went with the 4X. It is a little snug with the liner in it, but I like for my riding jackets to be just a little tight anyways. Not so tight that you can't maneuver around, but it feels right. I guess that's just me being used to wearing, you know, leather one piece, stuff like that, when I'm riding a bit more, how should I put it, adventurous, I guess we could say. But this jacket comes with elbow protectors, back protectors, shoulder protectors. No, I mean, they're not the best. They're not the best protection, you know. It's 3/4 inch foam. Will it help you in a small tumble? I'm sure it will. But, you know, it gives you a little peace of mind. And then these gloves, the Kemi Moto, again, I think I paid 19 bucks shipped for them off of Amazon. 32 degrees outside. I feel no air. This is my hand out in the open, in the breeze, and hands are perfectly warm. Now, I don't know, you know, a couple of hours into a ride, they would be affected, but this ride so far, I've yet to feel anything that, you know, hands are comfortable. I mean, not sweating, but they're not cold, they're not cool. It's just nice and comfortable. I will say, if you decide to order a pair, to order a size bigger than what you would normally wear. These are a little snug, but I think with a little break-in they'll be okay. But if I were to order them again, I would order a size larger. Well, Moto people, seems like this is pretty much the end of the video. I'm rolling up on my buddy's house now, so if you have any questions, you know, feel free to comment, like the video, all that other jazz that people say on their YouTube videos. I'm doing this more for fun than anything, but, you know, if it gets shared, that'd be awesome too.